This is the first vlog for thebustedcouch.com. We are going to be talking about Dredd. Dredd. It's a great movie.
It's fantastic.
It's probably one of the best movies I've seen in a while in theaters.
It's the best action movie since The Raid.
Yeah.
Which sounds bad because that was this year, but that's like the best in over a decade, so...
pretty
good.
But the only movie that I would say was more entertaining for me in theaters this year was The Avengers. Like, out of everything else that I've watched, I enjoyed this one the most. Like, the whole time that I watched the movie, I wasn't disappointed with anything that went on. Nothing.
Yep. The acting was all, even if not awesome, and some of them certainly were awesome, but it was perfect for whatever they were doing. The set design was actually really, really cool, and just the aesthetic of the whole thing was amazing.
Yeah, the aesthetic was perfect. Like, it was grungy, dirty, everything that you would think a post-apocalyptic, like, rebuild in a ruined city would look like.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, the fact that they get shut into a big, giant thing called, what was it, a cube? What they called it?
I don't know, it was just one of like the mega...
Oh, Mega Blocks. Mega Block. It was called Mega Block. That's where a lot of the people are living. It's like, there's like city all around. That's like really crappy, like old buildings and stuff, like old world buildings. And then every few blocks you'll see like these Mega Blocks. And they hold 75,000 people in each of them.
Yep.
And that's...
they're 200 stories tall.
800 million people in one city. And the men and women of the halls of justice have to maintain peace and order. The judges. And Karl Urban is one of them, and he is...
Karl Urban is fantastic.
He's just great. He makes everything
his
touches
constant
better.
grimace. He just kind of like... He's got these like scowl lines in his mouth. Sometimes as he's grimacing so hard, his mouth isn't even closed. Just like...
Yeah, it's just... He just fits so well.
He is the most badass cop ever.
The mask never comes off. The helmet is always on. Perfect. Didn't need to see his face.
Yep.
He's Judge Dredd.
You don't want to see his face.
Oh.
That ruins the mystery.
Yeah.
He is the helmet. The helmet is his face.
Yeah, he is
a judge.
That's it. He's like an idol.
His first name probably is Judge.
Yeah. Could be. Unlike some people.
What? Don't have that first name? Yeah. Unlike some fucking people. His first name isn't Judge. What's wrong with those people?
Yeah.
God.
Stupid fucking
The
people.
violence?
Violence, I would say that
really good.
Yeah, the violence brinks or surpasses in some cases like that precedent set by RoboCop when it came out.
Yeah.
Like the ultra violence is basically back in this movie.
Yeah.
And
it's
it wasn't
not like over the top crazy gore. It's much more grounded.
Yeah.
But the fact that often you see it by people who are on drugs and it's moving in super slow motion as bullets go through people's faces.
Yep. And explode at the other side.
Yep.
Yep. And like slow-mo people falling 200 stories to their death. And like
you did see some good brains the one time, just whole back of the guy's head.
Yeah. Brains.
That's important.
It's
Movie
very
makers?
important. Yeah. Brains. Lots. Everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's just our general outlook on the movie. Like if you haven't seen it or if you plan to go see it and you're skeptical,
it's good.
Go and see it.
If you like action movies or Judge Dredd, which I would think I like, but I haven't really had a chance to read it because not in the UK.
Yeah, and I've just watched...
It's way better than Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd with Stallone and Rob Schneider.
That one was not good.
No, that one's not good. This one, if you're thinking it's a sequel, it's definitely not. Don't think about that at all. Like, these movies are totally and completely different.
Female judge, not named Hershey, actually Anderson. So.
Yep. And now, with that out of the way,
now spoilers.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of spoilers in the next little bit. So if you haven't seen it,
spoilers.
And
stop watching us and go see Dredd.
Yeah, go see Dredd and then pause this.
Yes,
go see Dredd.
Close this.
Yeah,
keep this ready.
just pause this.
Wait,
go see Dredd.
No, close it, but then open it and watch it again because that's another hit.
Yeah, that's another hit. But anyway, pause it, close it, whatever you want to do. Come back to us. Mark the time down, and then come back and watch this after you've seen the movie. All right.
Are you back?
Are you back? You're back. You came back.
So.
That was nipples. So anyway, now on to the movie. We're going to talk about from the beginning to the end.
Yep. The opening scene is just some narration from Dredd. Very short, basically just sums up everything you need to know, which is pretty much what he said. Mega city, post-apocalyptic world, a lot of people living here, giant mega blocks. Crime, judges.
Yeah, and if you say that's a spoiler, fuck you.
And then it goes into the first action scene, which is seeing Judge Dredd be Judge Dredd.
Yep, he is chasing down a bunch of gangbangers. It's just
drug
hustlers.
People.
Yeah, they just committed a crime, and he's basically on their trail trying to find them. And when he finds them, chases them, and they're all fucked up on this stuff called slow-mo, which is the drug in the movie. Created by this woman, her name is Mama, and she runs basically a whole mega block to herself.
Yeah, there were multiple gangs, because usually they are, because it's a whole city, but she moved in and killed them all basically and took over the whole place, and it's also, she's created this new drug which is slowly taking over the whole city, and that's her base of operations, and that's where, after this attack and killing of all the... First of all, if Dredd will actually not kill you if you don't deserve it.
Yep.
But everyone in this movie deserves it, and so everyone dies.
Yeah, there's lots of killing.
Yeah.
I think there's probably at least... Well, okay, if we go... Okay, we'll get to that, but...
Where's there a single criminal he did not kill?
Like he himself, or that just didn't die?
There was the drug people that he took into custody. The kids he stunned, yeah.
He stunned them.
Yeah.
Because
they were going to juvie.
Yeah. Like, if you don't have to kill a kid, of course you're not going to kill a kid. I mean, that's just what happens. I mean, they're the future. This is post-apocalyptic, so I would imagine that he wants to keep kids around because they're the future.
Well, no, it's the law.
And the law. Yeah, the law. Yeah.
If the law was kill kids, he'd kill all.
He just fucking kill them.
It's the law.
Kids. Babies.
And he's Judge Dredd. Yeah.
Babies.
Oh, he'd kill babies.
Kill so many babies.
They passed that law in Mega City 1. They'd be fucked.
Mega City 1. Yeah,
because
baby bylaw.
Babies.
666.
Yeah.
Just...
We're not even talking about anything.
No, we're not. We have digressed. So anyway, back to the story. Judge Dredd, he's driving along. He catches up to the criminals. He wasn't gonna kill them, but then they hit a pedestrian. Fucking kill that motherfucker. And then Judge Dredd's like, I'm going lethal. And
yep.
Yeah.
Which pretty much instantly happens. He just shoots out their tires. They flip the van about a dozen times. 2 of them die. One of them runs off, kills a bunch more people, until, well, Dredd basically ignites the inside of his skull.
Yeah. What do you call him, a hothead?
Yeah, it's hothead, right?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
He's like, what'd you call me? I said hothead. And then shoots in the face.
I'm so glad that this movie was actually rated R, so they didn't have to skirt around any of that stuff.
If this movie had been rated... No, it wasn't allowed to be rated R, it would have been a total fucking waste of time. Because Judge Dredd, you can't limit him. That's like saying Terminator, don't kill people.
You got to show how. Well, that was kind of the whole point of Terminator 2 was he wasn't allowed.
Okay, I guess. But no, he's still okay. Was that movie rated R?
Yes, it definitely was, but still, it was not killing people.
Okay, that's true.
Because remember when he kneecapped all the cops?
Well, not in the first one.
No, on the first one, Terminator 2. Then.
Yeah, I said Terminator. I didn't
know.
say Terminator 2.
Well, yeah, but still, there was one Terminator.
Okay, you know what? I meant Terminator 1. That's what I'm talking about. I'm sorry.
Oh, that one he killed it.
That one he killed a lot of people.
Because he was
killed
bad
the top
Terminator.
station. Like, and if I spoiled Terminator 1 for you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you're living in 1983.
This video is going back in time. To us. Before we were born. Before that movie came out.
So Dredd.
Dredd, anyway. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wanted to talk about the motorcycle.
The motorcycle was really well done.
Yeah.
I loved how utilitarian it was. Like, they never did the, like, show off, like, here's the badass motorcycle. No,
he's just riding it. Like,
yeah.
this is
just what he rides on.
This is what they ride.
Yeah.
And the whole movie is nonchalant. Like, there's no, like, messing around.
It's not like this is some big, huge, epic war with some mastermind who's been planning. This is just a day at the office for Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd, this is Tuesday.
Yeah, this is just what happens.
This is
for everyone else around him, it like changes their lives and probably ends their lives. But for him, it's a day.
This is a day.
This is his job.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
This is his job. He does it pretty well.
Yep. I don't know, the main thing that I really liked was the visuals.
Oh yeah.
Like both the directing and the photography were really good.
Now the only time that we saw it because there was no other option.
Yeah,
we saw it in 3D. The whole thing with 3D though is that it really wasn't necessary except for like the drug sequences were really good.
Yeah, like the rest is clearly made not with. I mean, I could be wrong, but it doesn't seem like it's made with 3D in mind because it's very dark, very gritty, very not anything that like shadow doesn't really show up so much when you make different layers on the screen.
And it's not like it's really cheesy, lame shit like in Resident Evil that's coming out. Where there's like fucking knives flowing at you and like bullets and stupid stuff like that. No.
Yeah.
Like it's
the
just
most
like
pop out things is
water.
and the titles.
Yeah.
Like the credit sequence. The names.
Yeah.
That's about it.
So
but yeah, the drug sequences actually look pretty cool in 3D.
Yeah.
And the rest of the movie you just have to wear 3D glasses. Which sucks.
Yeah, unless you can take them off. But it's going to be blurry.
Yeah. But when this movie's out, like on Blu-ray, non-3D, that's going to look very, very nice.
Yeah, this is a day one purchase for me on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to the plot. So anyway, the bikes were awesome. Like I really liked them. I mean, you know what? They didn't even look that fancy, to be honest with you. They were bikes,
like they were what cops would use.
Yeah, and they got guns on them. And the front of them is more armored than the rest.
And well made.
Yeah,
but they weren't that goes the same with their outfits. Like in the Stallone one, where they had like the giant golden thing on their shoulders. No, that's gone. They're wearing uniforms.
Yeah, they're wearing realistic armor. Like that you can actually move around in and like
it's just like leather protective armor.
Yeah, probably
because they're bike cops.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Like they got maybe a little bit of Kevlar on there, of course, but I mean this is the future, and their guns it doesn't seem to matter what they shoot. So I mean it's pretty much useless to wear armor against a judge. That's like they just talk to their gun. They're just like armor piercing, and then they're dead.
Shoot through walls.
Yeah,
I really like the incendiary.
Yeah,
which basically bombed an entire like floor of the building in fire.
Yeah, he sets a trap, and they all come to where his location is, and essentially they're there. He's a floor up. He's like incendiary, and then pops one off and burns like how many people? Probably a dozen. Yeah. Just like there, another one falls off. I mean, there's a big building in this mega block. This mega block is a big building, and there's a big hole in the middle. So similar to the raid. And yeah, people just keep constantly falling off that thing. It's just fantastic.
I think that'd be a safety concern.
Yeah, you think so?
Change the way that building was designed.
Or put nets, maybe, or something.
Yeah, like every 10 stories there's a net.
Yeah, just in case. But
of course, it was like one of the worst places in the city, and it had like 96%.
Yeah, I would assume
unemployment rate, and like over half of it was considered slum living, even though it's in this giant like mega skyscraper.
Yeah. I when they walked into basically the movie is this. It starts off with that chase. He kills those fucking guys, and then he goes back to HQ.
Where he meets Anderson, who's the rookie who he has to train. And they just go out.
Psychic. Mm-hmm. She's a psychic. She can read your mind.
Like Professor X.
Professor X, yeah.
And after that, they're just walking out the door, and at the same time, the drug lord Mama has these 3 guys who were what were they doing? Moving in on the turf. Stealing.
I think they were on the turf. Yeah,
they were on the one guy's floor, and they weren't supposed to be on that floor.
Yeah, they were just.
So they're just like, all right, we're gonna skin him and throw him all the way down just to make an example. So bam, 3 homicides, and he's like, as they're walking out, he's like, rookie, choose a job. He's like, that one. Like, all right, we're taking this one, and that's the whole plot right there. Then they go and deal with that crime.
Yep. Yeah, and then it's her first day, so he's Dredd is doing an assessment on this girl, so he, it's one day, and he's just explaining to her that 1 in 5 judges dies on their first day, because
they're rookies.
Yeah, they're rookies. Basically, there's all sorts of pass-fail things that happen. So if you fail to make the wrong judgment, you fail. If you lose your weapon, you fail. If you take off your helmet and leave it somewhere, you fail. Or
that was just okay. Yeah. He was like, "Why wouldn't you bring that? It's bulletproof for your head." Yeah. And then she's like, "But my psychic abilities bullet bad for psychic abilities too."
Yeah. And there's a few other things. Obviously, if you die, you fail. It makes sense.
Not going to make it as a judge.
No, not going to
make it unless you judge death.
Judge death. Yeah, but we're not. Anyway,
he's not in it.
No, he's not. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Judge Death?
Yeah. It's from the comics.
Oh, okay. I'm a Judge Dredd comic noob, so I'm sorry. But anyway, so they go into the place, and it was great though. I liked it when they were going in. He's like, assess, and she's like, vagrancy. It's 2 years in a cube.
I think it was 3 weeks.
3 weeks? Okay, whatever. I don't know. Well, they have...
Pretty sure it was 3 weeks in the cube for being a vagrant.
Yeah.
So they're just like, don't be here when we come back.
Yeah, don't be here when we come back. And so they go in and they're making their bust, I guess, because they see the bodies.
Basically they just talk to a medical examiner who's from in this mega block. There's a clinic, and so he just came down from there to look at the bodies. And he figures out, basically, they piece together that who they are, where they're from, what level they are from on the mega block, that they were using drugs, and then they're just like, alright, well, look at this. This looks like some sort of ritual killing. They're trying to strike fear into people. They're trying to set an example of these guys who are doing something. Let's just go up there and bust where where the gang works on that level. So they do.
Well, he basically gives them a rundown of the whole history of the building and what's going on with Mama, and basically he points out where, he points out everything, and then basically they make the call to go and bust. Start with this floor, and they go do that. So they go, and that's the part. This is the part where they're lining up there outside the door. They're getting ready, and this is where the comment about the helmet's made. So that's where I mixed up, but. And then there's a couple of new guys, I guess, or a couple of druggies that have went in before, so they're just taking it up. So it's an excuse for this whole slow-mo scene, and this is where bullets come through faces.
Yep, and people get thrown back by explosions in slow motion.
And it's awesome. I really enjoyed that. And you see the guy's stomach getting pushed in slow-mo, and it's just you see his skin rippling, and he's flying back. And then the judge is walking, and it's boom, and these people are what? And it's through their stomachs and through their faces, and it's just a mess, and it's fantastic. The art direction and or the aesthetic and everything like that, as I said or we've said,
yeah, it's really well done.
It just makes those scenes worth every second.
Yeah, and then they take one guy alive, who's the guy who originally brought the 3 dead guys up to Mama.
Yeah, and he skinned them.
Yeah, they're she sees this because she has one guy whose job is just watch 19 million cameras and keep track of everything that's happening in her building. And basically she puts the whole building into lockdown to kill the judges because she really doesn't want that guy talking, because then the judges would know that she makes the drugs, and that would be bad.
Yep. And that would give the
and
whole...
then that's basically the whole plot for the rest of it, is that.
Yeah, and then it's just like an hour of people trying to kill Judge Dredd and Anderson. And it's just marvelous. Yeah, right after that, like the announcement, and then everyone's like rushing to their apartments, like the civvies are getting out of the way, and all these gang members are just hunting them down. And yeah, I mean, we could go scene by scene.
Yeah, there's not really.
There's no real point to it.
I'd like to talk about the minigunning scene.
The minigunning
really
scene.
Well done.
3 miniguns get set up on. I can't remember which floor, but.
Like the one across the road at that point, 76?
76, yeah.
It's very important that you know that.
Numbers.
Just gonna throw some numbers at you. Borderlands. But,
yeah. Borderlands is another video. Someday.
Yeah, they tear apart, like, an entire section and kill everyone who's living in there and, like, destroy cement concrete walls with bullets. It's really well done.
Yeah, like, they annihilate the whole level. It's like, even if you went into your apartment, these bullets are cutting through, like, dozens of rooms to get to the judges. Like, they're just ripping through stuff. And, like, well, it was just shit luck that they were on that floor, because, like, outside of the building is, like, a basketball court that hangs off of a ledge 76 stories in the air. For kids to play on. I mean, because it's safe.
Seems like a really bad place to have your half pipe. Just like, I'm going, oh, sure.
Yeah, they have half pipes and skateboards, and they're doing this, like, like a big gust of wind probably could have blew you off, but
that was honestly the most contrived part.
Yeah,
jump out onto this random, skateboard park.
That's the only
that
was only there for an excuse for them to get out. That was
like, honestly, otherwise they were just like, all right, we'll just take them down from laying down here, hiding.
It would have just been a boring, like, shootout.
Yeah.
But instead, it gave us a little break, and then set up a really fun part.
Yeah, where Judge just, like, out of the smoke, he just walks, like, he's holding, like, her second in command, who's waiting to kill them. He doesn't say anything, just chucks him off the side, and then turns and walks back in the smoke without saying anything.
Doesn't even look or say anything. No. Just he's like, it's like a big fuck you to Mama. Mama's just sitting there watching, and she's just like, what? It was just, I laughed. I laughed out loud. No one else seemed to laugh in the theater. Fucking
no. That happens in most movies I see.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, there's some movies that I'll go to where people will laugh, but this one...
it goes all the way back to when I saw Nothing to Lose with my dad. Most people weren't laughing that much.
Really?
Yeah. Like, he's dancing to Scatman while he's on fire. No one's really, like, they're chuckling a bit, but we're just busting out laughing because it's really funny.
Yeah.
And pretty much every time I've seen a Coen Brothers movie, no one really laughs at stuff.
Alright. So, to everyone out there, when you're out there, laugh. Just laugh.
Funny things.
It's like, who cares? If it's a scene,
funny.
It's a funny scene,
laugh. Are you too cool to find humor? Does humor not work on you? Are you a robot? I don't know. Robots would laugh at that.
Robots would fucking laugh at that. Silly human.
Tricks are for kids.
Tricks are for kids. I mean, what?
Dick
fingers.
No, that's
Boner farts. Boner farts. Boner farts.
Anyway. What else?
I really liked the scene where she goes into his head.
Yeah, the psychic stuff was really well done. Once again, the aesthetic, like the way they did it, was really cool, but also it was a good, badass scene for Anderson. Yeah,
Anderson, like, at the start, I had hoped, like, I was kind of worried, but at the same time not, that she might just not get into it, and she might just be, like, kind of just a rookie the whole time, but they really bring up her level of badassery in that movie. Like it goes from like 0 to 60 at one point. Like just like
when she kills the other judge, that's just fantastic.
Yeah,
because there's 4 judges who come in.
And they're
we're basically on the take.
Yeah.
And they've basically been hired. It's like, he won't instantly shoot you. Please go kill Judge Dredd and this other one. And so Dredd, of course, can figure this out because he's Judge Dredd. But she's psychic. So when it becomes the one-on-one, where the other judge is like, don't worry, I've got this.
She'll rookie.
She'll stop and I'll just shoot her. And he walks up and she's like, oh, this person's thinking of shooting me. Just like, bang. And then just walks off.
Yeah, she's got like
not even a thought. Doesn't even look at someone in judge shooting.
She's like she sees him. It like does that whole psychic scene thing, and then she's like, she's annihilated. She's just dead, bleeding. She just walks by. Right. No remorse or anything like that. It was just like yeah.
Okay. I want to talk about Lena Headey as Headley. Pretty sure it's Headey. Anyway. As Mama was really good.
Yeah.
Like, and honestly, it just shows off that, she can really act because she was kind of, especially in the flashback stuff to while she was taking over the block, she was obviously like really insane and enjoying it and everything. And it's nice because, I mean, as like Cersei on Game of Thrones, she doesn't ever show emotion. She just sits there being a bitch about everything ever. So it's really nice to actually see her getting to act like really evil and chewing scenery because she's really good in it.
Yeah, and like I like the fact that she plays a prostitute that bites a guy's dick off and then takes over his like gang and his organization and then just slowly pushes everything out. It's like most badass hooker on ever. It's like hands down. Like there's not even like in Fallout or anything like that. There's no hookers that are like that. It's just like
Frank Miller loved that. When that came out on screen, Frank Miller was just like, oh my god.
Well, Frank Miller would like that.
Frank Miller doesn't write anything without whores in it, like ever.
No.
Not anymore. Not since Sin City.
No, well, Sin City's all about hookers.
He wrote Batman and his hookers.
That's true.
All-Star Balance. So goddamn Batman.
So this is just a thing. Like we're saying that if you want to make a good movie, hookers.
Mm-hmm. Badass ones.
Badass hookers.
Badass hookers and brains.
Brains.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of brains. Splatter everywhere. Hookers everywhere. Brains everywhere. Hookers brains. Maybe. Mm-hmm.
Just to up the threat level.
Not the threat. I really, and then her death. Just so awesome because I was like, okay, so the scene is after all the judges have been killed, like the corrupt judges have been killed, and everyone else is just like fucked off, and it's just down to Judge Dredd, and like Anderson gets shot, and she's like lying on the floor next to him. So she's no help anymore. She's down for now, and Judge Dredd is pointing his gun at her, and he's just like, he's taking his time assessing the whole thing, and she has her hands up, and then she's like, oh, and I've got this thing on, and it's like this. She's got this like little pulse reader on, that's also a detonator.
Yeah, she's got a heart rate monitor connected to a whole bunch of explosives. That if her heart stops, it will like bring down basically the entire mega block.
Yeah, it's the top 50 stories.
Well, all of it was on the top story, but she said it would destroy the top 50.
Yeah.
Which would then that much falling rubble would just destroy the rest of it.
Yeah. So anyway,
Judge Dredd is just like, but your sentence is death, so not a lot I can do here.
So he shoots her in the gut, so she doesn't die immediately. So her heart's still going, and this thing is on her wrist, and he's just like, so how do you think that signal is through 200 stories of concrete? and then
chucks her down.
He's just like, look, there's like anything else to say, and he's like, defense noted, throws her through a window, and she falls, he gives her a puff of the slow-mo, and then throws her through the window, and then she falls 200 stories, and it's all in slow motion, like the whole scene. It's just like her falling in slow motion, glass everywhere, and this is like one of the aesthetic things. It's like sparkling glass. It's so beautiful and wonderful to look at, and like it's just pure awesome. And then she fucking hits that ground, and it's like the camera's looking
the
straight up
camera's,
at her.
On the ground, and just like...
And it's her face going into the camera, breaking apart a little bit, and then blood everywhere. Yeah. It's like, yes! It's like, that is how a bad guy needs to die.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when Judge Dredd does it.
Yep.
And then after that, it's just like the judges, like he stitches her up a little bit because they got their like field kits.
Speaking of the field kits, that's the other part. The last of the 4 judges actually, like, Judge Dredd's behind a wall, and he shoots him like through the stomach, with an armor-piercing round.
Armor-piercing.
And then Anderson kills him. And so Judge there's like, I got a field kit, it's alright. He's got like this gaping wound, so he just like seal, stitch up. Alright, good to go, let's kill people. Got more ammo from the dead guy.
Yep. No worries. Yep. He's Judge Dredd.
Got shot, no problem. Not for Judge Dredd.
Basic field dressing. And it's just like, it looks like caulking. He just fills his wound, and then he has this like little gun, and then it auto constricts, so he like auto zips up his like wound, and he's like, good to go. Time to fuck shit up.
And then after they finally kill her, and then they go back down, and the doors finally open, like the blast shielding on the building opens, and they can leave, and all the cops are there, and like the captain or whoever, Dredd's boss is there, and she comes up. He's like, how was it? And he's just like completely just nonchalant, matter of fact. He's like, it was a drug bust. They didn't cooperate.
Yeah. That's why we said, like, for anyone else, this day would just be like, holy fuck.
Yeah, this would be like, John McClane in Die Hard, crazy day.
Yeah.
For Judge Dredd.
It's just Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's him. That's what he said.
Yep.
Right after the movie. Like, for Judge Dredd, this is Tuesday. So
awesome action movie.
Yeah, and she passed.
Hmm?
She's a judge,
and she passed the Judge Dredd test, which is, she's gonna be a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's about it. As far as so we've already talked about the art and the music, we have talked about music, but the music just seemed fitting.
Yeah.
No matter what, like
it never really I never was like, oh my god, this is really good.
Like there's no top 40 bullshit in this. Like no, this is just it's all its own score. It's
it's like electronic enough to seem futuristic to match with the setting, but it's it's subtle. It's just there.
Yeah, it's just there.
It's fun.
It fits in and never dominates anything. I mean, the only time that you ever hear any music really is during the drug scenes as well. Like, they're like their own little mini music videos. Well, not really, but you get it. And no, the music from the trailer is not in the movie, so don't expect that. I really like the Scream remix of...
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, of In It for the Kill. Yeah.
Any song that talks about science, right? Bonus points.
Bonus points.
She blinded me with science.
Blinded me with science. Yeah. So anyway, this is review number 1. And start off on a good note because I was Dredd.
Good movie.
Yeah.
Good damn movie.
Very good movie. So yeah, if you want to visit our website, it's thebustedcouch.com. I'm Matt. And this is Jerva. We'll probably bring you some game reviews as well. Just gotta wait.
Yeah, we'll do stuff, and it'll be up when we have made it. Why is this here? Oh my god, it's like a blackboard.
Oh. Damn. These things have fucking blackboards on them. They're like little... we could put a phone.
Can you look at that?
Matt and Dicks. Matt Dicks. We're drinking Matt Dicks.
Oh, tangy.
Oh, tangy. Yeah. Lemon. There's a little lemon in that. Lemony.
All right.
Lemony Matt Dicks.